同学们好 Hello everyone. 我是何老师 This is Mr. Heffernan. Today, we'll be learning all about Chinese currency. The currency of the People's Republic of China is officially called 人民币. In English, we usually call it Chinese yuan. The currency symbol is a Y with two lines through it, and there are two currency codes. There's RMB, which stands for 人民币, and there's CNY, which stands for Chinese yuan. To understand Chinese currency units, let's first look at one we're familiar with, the Australian dollar. In our currency in Australia, the basic unit is called the dollar, and we have a subunit called cents. 100 cents make up a dollar. Now let's look at a currency that is similar but slightly different to our currency, the US dollar. In this currency, they also have dollars and cents, but they have a special coin called the dime, which is worth 10 cents. So 1 dime equals 10 cents, 2 dimes is 20 cents, 3 dimes is 30 cents, and so on. It's important to understand this concept because Chinese currency also has these units of dollars, dimes, and cents. Okay, so keep in mind what I explained about the US currency units. Chinese currency is basically the same, but they're just called different names. So the basic unit in Chinese currency is the yuan, which basically means dollar. There is a unit called jiao, which is worth 10 cents. This is just like the American dime. So 一角 is worth 10 cents. 二角 is worth 20 cents. 三角 is worth 30 cents, and so on. Finally, the unit called fen is worth 1 cent. Now, it's important to be aware that these names for the currency units are different in written and spoken Chinese. In written Chinese, so we're talking about on banknotes, on coins, on price tags, in the shops, on legal contracts, these units are written like this: yuan, jiao, fen. However, in spoken Chinese, we call the yuan kuai. We also call the jiao mao. So for example, this price of $1.55 would be written in Chinese as 一元五角五分. So $1, 5 dimes and 5 cents. This is how it would be written. But when communicating with the shopkeeper or when telling someone else the price of an item, we use the spoken form of the price. So when we're speaking with someone, we'll say 一块五毛五分. The same again, $1, 5 dimes, 5 cents, but just in the spoken form. 一块五毛五分. We'll now explore what Chinese banknotes look like. This is the $1 note, which we call 一元 in written Chinese, or 一块 in spoken Chinese. The symbols contained on the banknote are Mao Zedong, who was the leader of China from 1946 until 1976. On the top left corner of this side of the note, we also have the Chinese national coat of arms. On this note, we have the orchid flower, and also on the other side, we have an image of the West Lake in Zhejiang province. Something interesting to note is that on all Chinese banknotes, you'll see the name of the Chinese National Bank written in 5 languages. So that's Chinese Pinyin, Mongolian, Tibetan, Uyghur, and Zhuang. There are officially 56 recognized ethnic groups within China, and these 5 languages represent the 5 largest of those groups. Okay, this is the $5 note, which we call Wu Yuan or Wu Kuai in spoken Chinese. The flower on this note is the narcissus flower, and the landmark on the back is Mount Tai in Shandong province. On the $10 note, which we call 10 yuan or 10 kuai, we have the Rose and the Yangtze River Three Gorges, which sits on the border of Chongqing and Hubei province. This is the $20 note, which we call 20 yuan or 20 kuai. This note has the lotus flower and the famous Li River scenery in the Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region. This region is home to the Zhuang people who speak the fifth language represented on the banknotes that I mentioned earlier. This is the $50 note called 50 yuan or 50 kuai. The flower on this side of the note is the chrysanthemum flower, and the landmark is the Potala Palace in the Tibet Autonomous Region. The largest banknote is $100, which we call 100 yuan or 100 kuai. On this note, we have the plum blossom, and on the other side, we have the Great Hall of the People in Beijing, which is basically like China's Parliament House. Okay, so those were the banknotes for the whole dollars, for yuan. Interesting, there are also banknotes for cents. This is the smallest banknote, the 1 dime. It's worth 10 cents. We call it 一角 in written Chinese or 一毛 in spoken Chinese. There are 2 ethnic groups represented on this note by those 2 people. Those are the Gaoshan and the Manchu people. This is the 2 dime note. It's worth 20 cents. We call it 二角 or 两毛 in spoken Chinese. This note depicts the Bouyei and Chaoxian ethnic groups. The Chaoxian ethnic group are mainly located on the border region next to North Korea. Their ancestors migrated from Korea, and so they speak Korean. Finally, we have the 5 dime note, worth 50 cents. It's called 五角 or 五毛 in Chinese. The ethnic groups depicted on this note are the Miao and Zhuang people. Chinese currency also has the $1 coin. We have the 50-cent coin. There's the 10-cent coin. We also have 5 cents, 2 cents, and 1 cent. But these coins aren't really commonly used anymore. And if you come across any coins in China, you'll really only sometimes just come across the $1, the 50 cents, and the 10 cents. The others are very rare. 谢谢。